Today is March 5th, and we're going to be working on our volume project for the rest of this week. And it's going to be a project dealing with pools. So if you go to Google Classroom under Unit 5 volume, it says volume and surface area. You have your own copy of this slideshow, and I have printed out the page for you to write out your calculations. So if you click on the slideshow, you are going to be designing an aquatic center. We've had lots of questions where you've had to calculate the volume of a pool. Now you'll be creating your own aquatic center and calculating the volume of each pool, as well as the surface area needed for tiling each pool. So step one, you have to design a pool. And you'll go through the slides and answer the questions. You can type here. So in order to get an awesome job helping to design a new aquatic center, you must answer these questions. Describe what math skills you will need to use to design a swimming pool. How is math related to designing a swimming pool? Well, I just talked about calculating the volume of water that's required, calculating surface area for walls, for tile, etc. You fill in your own answer. There's 2 more questions for the interview process. What do you think should be included in an aquatic center? And what would you name your park? You're going to answer these questions. On the next slide, now that you make it through the second round of interviews, you need to identify which of the following are unit cubes. Using the shape tool, draw a circle around the unit cubes. So you can just click insert and shape and draw a circle around the ones that are a unit cube. Now remembering a unit should all be the same. So we wouldn't see something like kilometers, meters, and centimeters. And it should be 1. Unit means 1. So go through, circle the unit cubes. The next step, the boss is impressed with your volume skills. Congrats. The figures below represent diagrams of the unit cubes in each kiddie pool. Write the volume of each kiddie pool below by calculating how many unit cubes. And you should be able to type for each one. Slide 6. You now are looking at the original plan of the aquatic center and calculating the volume. Find the volume for each pool. Write the numbers here. And then calculate the volume for the entire aquatic center plan. A kiddie pool, a diving pool, and a lap pool. What are the dimensions? Finally, we have more funding and you're going to make a more creative aquatic center. It is time for you to design your own plan for the park. So you need to come up with a name, a theme, and something that makes your park special. Slide 8, we have the requirements. Before beginning your park plan, determine the dimensions and volumes of every pool in your park. You must include a kiddie pool, a lap pool, a diving pool, and a slide catch pool, and at least one additional pool of your choice. For each pool, you need to write the dimensions and volumes in the worksheet provided, as well as on your sketch. Finally, find the volume of the entire park, then make your sketch of the park plans. So you need to use the checklist below to make sure your park plans include everything you need. Creating a sketch of your aquatic center plan that includes, you're going to have a kiddie pool that is a cylinder, a lap pool that is a rectangular prism, a diving pool that must be a triangular prism, a slide catch pool that can be any shape, and at least one additional, and at least one additional pool of your choice. Then you also need an entrance and exit, a concession stand, restrooms for the pool, and one other feature you can choose. You can make it a volleyball court, a playground, your choice. So essentially, you need to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pools and find their volume. What type of shape it is has been determined for you, but you can decide the dimensions. So you're given the dimension, or you're given some examples of other shapes for a pool. You can draw a cylinder, it would look like this, and you would show your dimensions. You would include radius and height. A right triangular prism, this would be great for a diving pool as it gets lower as you go down. It gives you the formula here. Normally, if it was a rectangular prism, our calculation would be length times width times height. But because it's a right triangular prism, only in this case when it's right triangular, you can use this formula to calculate the volume of the diving pool. Half length times width times height, or 1/2 times base times height. So you can choose whether or not you want to write out the dimensions of your volume of each pool and calculate the volume first, or if you want to design a sketch first. And then after you're done that, we're not going to get to that today, you'll be working on calculating the surface area for each pool to see how much tile you would need. And I've given you the slides here. But right now we're working on the volume portion. So if we go to this page here, this worksheet is on the front table and will be passed out. So to calculate your pool project calculations, you need to come up with, okay, what are the dimensions of a kiddie pool? Now keep in mind, dimensions of a pool are usually in meters. An Olympic diving pool is about 50 meters in length. So you can come up with your own proportions. And then you calculate. So what are the dimensions of the kiddie pool? Well, if I look back here, a kiddie pool must be a cylinder. So I need to determine what my radius would be and what my height would be, how tall the kiddie pool is. Now, remember, the kiddie pool is for kids, so we probably don't want something that's 6 meters tall. That's way too tall for a kid to stand in. And then, yeah, you can write out your dimensions, write out your calculations here, show the formula, and then you can find the volume for each individual pool. On the next page, you can calculate the dimensions of your additional pool. And then calculate the total volume. So that is your first step, or you can sketch out a pool, draw a map, including all the elements, the kiddie pool, the diving pool, the restrooms, everything, and label the dimensions. So your map is going to be on the cardboard paper on the back table. You need to use pencil. So if you don't have a pencil, there are extra pencils on the front table. Use pencil, not crayon, not highlighter, a pencil. And sketch out where are you going to put all 5 of your pools. You need to draw where are the 5 pools going to go, and then look at what other criteria you have here. Where are your restrooms going to go? Your extra feature, your volleyball court, and sketch it out. It is going to be 2D. Notice how I don't have 3D shapes here, but it's looking at it from a bird's eye view, like I'm looking straight down at the paper. And I've drawn my kiddie pool here. I'm giving it a radius of 8 meters and a height of 3 meters. That is it. That's all I'm looking for is 2D, label where each pool is going to go and all the other features, and label the dimensions. For the diving pool, I've labeled the length and the width. It is just for 2D. So today you should be able to either sketch your first draft of your volume park and label the dimensions and start your calculations, or you should have all your calculations done on this sheet here. Okay, and lastly, you are drawing this out with a ruler. It should be exact. It should be neat. You can use like 1 centimeter equals 1 meter. So if I have a radius of 8 meters for my circle, I can use 8 centimeters to draw the radius and then draw a circle around it. Or if my length of my rectangular pool is 10 meters, then I need 10 centimeters, approximately. But we have all of our requirements for what pools we need. Remember, then you will also be calculating surface area. And I have given you a formula sheet to calculate. You are going to be marked on neatness and organization. On color, you will be coloring it eventually. Do you have all the requirements that exceed expectations? On how creative your volume park is. The accuracy, have you done the math correctly? And the clarity of labels and annotations, it's clear. Labels are annotated and exceptionally clear, enhancing understanding. And then a mark for overall presentation. It is exceptionally polished, exemplifying professionalism and excellence in every aspect. So today you need to go to Google Classroom and go through slides 1 to 7, absolutely need to be completed today. And then you're going to sketch out your park, making sure it has all these elements, or you're going to label all the dimensions of your park and get all calculations done today.